So those are, oops. So that's generally what the town would benefit from there. So I just want you to know about the potential, and right now we're not really concentrating on that part of it because we want to make sure that we turn the shovel and put in 5% of the system by the end of the year in order to protect the 30% federal tax credit, because that's scheduled to drop to 26% in January. But through the IRS just came out with the Safe Harbor Act and said that we can protect the 30% federal tax credit if we're 5% along.
Is there any state tax credit right now?
No.
Not as much.
No. But, yeah, yes, sir.
Have you walked the site at all yet?
I haven't been out there yet.
Haven't been out there. 'Cause that's just one big mound.
Mm.
So it's going to make quite a difference in how much sun you're going to collect based upon where it's
What's the
sitting.
difference in elevation, do you know?
No one.
It's not.
Okay.
I'm the manager there, and it does have some peaks and valleys, but predominantly, if you go back to the big picture, pretty much where your mouse is at the high spot. That's the highest spot of the landfill, and then it slopes in each direction from there.
Uh-huh.
On the back side, which would be if you scrolled your mouse up, there's a significantly steep hill right there
Oh, okay.
that it would not be viable for solar panels to go in there.
Oh, okay.
It's such a significant
Sure.
decline there
Okay.
that I don't believe you'd be able to get that much sun on it during the
So
day.
we'll have to walk the site and adjust this accordingly.
Where you've got our panels and the panels that are right around there, I think that's all a good candidate for.
That's
Probably one of the flatter areas.
one of the flatter areas, pretty much straight back through that part. It's all relatively flat. And then pretty much where your mouse is, if you scroll straight across, you're at pretty much the very highest peak in that area.
And it drops off.
Back through there,
Oh,
yes.
okay. So we wouldn't want to go down there then?
Correct. That would be on the back side. You'd have trees on one side and a hill on the other.
Okay.
So have you had one of these solar arrays on a site similar to this for 20 years yet?
No. No. We've got Waldeboro, they went in the end of 2017. But before we can put anything on here, we have to do engineering studies that satisfy the DEP. One of those is a settlement analysis.
I already know there are some settlement areas that do need to be repaired.
Yeah, he does too, and he said that he'd be talking with you about that, I guess.
Yes.
I guess my concern would be the whole area is going to settle because you got debris in there decaying. So the whole area is going to.
I think that would be the case for any landfill. but
Yeah,
this-
over
this is
time.
where they're using it because land that has no value, so it's,
Mhm.
you know, where they're not going into landfill, they're setting stuff on top of it.
Right.
Are these portable? Could you move them? Or once they're set in place, are they in place?
Well, the blocks weigh 2,000 pounds apiece, so we could move them,
Okay.
but it would be a big effort. We have to get a machine out there to move them.
I have a machine that can probably move it.
Okay.
I have a front end loader. If there's enough room for me to get in between there, I could easily move those.
Yeah.
And then, because that was my concern, if they're not able to be moved, then if we do have settlement areas, then what are we gonna do in that situation?
No,
Is
they
it
can
just
be moved.
gonna,
We just have to disassemble that, but the DEP is going to require that we provide them with that settlement report.
okay.
But we've been through this a few times, and they're pretty easy going about it. I mean, as long as we dot the i's and cross the t's, they're quite happy with this way to use land, so.
Can you account for a declination or variation in magnetic fields over this 20-year period? Because you're going to have to change whatever direction you normally, what are you magnetic heading? Do you
Well,
normally
we're going
put
to
them
use true solar south,
on? True south.
yes, not magnetic. So we'll face the panels in true solar south.
What is true solar south?
It's it'd be 196 degrees, I think, on your compass.
Okay, I've never heard of this.
The magnetic declination.
There's a difference.
Oh, yeah, the variation is
South.
declination.
If you use a
I don't know
compass-
what they're using.
Well, if you use a compass and you face it at 196 degrees, that's
Yeah.
solar south.
Okay, 16, okay, that's magnetic.
Yeah.
Okay. Because the variation can change. It doesn't always change at a constant rate, but it changes. So there's got to be adjustment in the framework for all this stuff to make up for settlement or what have you, and plus the angle of the slope is built on.
adjustable.
What kind of maintenance is in that though, for that 25-year period?
So for the entire time that we own the array, we maintain it. If the town decides to buy the array, then we can offer a maintenance package. And I think it's like $7 a thousand, but I mean, is it
$3,500 a year.
$3,500 a year, okay.
And is that demonstrated in the savings if we bought it on year 7?
No,
No.
no.
Okay.
So that would drop the savings a bit. So the town is going to have multiple opportunities to decide if the town wants to buy the system. The first one comes up at the end of year 6, and there's no obligation to buy it. The town can just continue to buy power at lower cost. And so then in that case, the town wouldn't have that maintenance fee.
Okay.
Along those discussion lines, what is the average maintenance item and cost?
So there's no moving parts. So the solar panels have a warranty of 25 years, but their life is beyond that. I mean, you know, they're warranted to manufacture 80% of their power for 25 years. So in year 30, it would be more like 70% of their power. So the solar panels can stay there, they don't move. The maintenance might be like replacing an inverter. It would only be if something damaged it, maybe an airplane fell into it, you know.
How many inverter units are there?
I'm just teasing. How many what?
How many inverter units?
This particular one has 6.
For that small square, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
The 2 earlier ones that you put in 2010, I think, was the first one.
The one I showed the picture of my son on the roof?
Yeah, the first one you put in, the next.
Oh, yeah, that was 6.
Waldoboro and Tremont, I think they
Yeah,
were.
2017 and 2018.
Oh, those were 17 and 18.
Yeah, Waldoboro was 2017 and Tremont was end of 2018. Yeah. Yes, sir.
As far as the cost, we're talking about 14.5 right now. Is that the average of all the electricity used? Because in the big printout, you had some figures about the library has one rate.
The standard rate for us is 14.8 cents. It's 5.8 cents plus for delivery and 9 cents for supply. Then if you go into the bigger system, it's 11.6 cents. What we're oh no, it doesn't have that. 11.6 cents is the average between the sewer system and the rest of it. But the average, the price like for the police department, the fire station, and various is 14.8 cents.
But we're actually paying 11.6 average
If you
for all
figure
the
in,
systems.
if you figure in the sewer department, because that's our largest user of electricity.
Will this supply electricity to all those?
He's gonna supply electricity for everything.
So basically, we're going from 11.6 down to 9.5,
That's
or
correct.
somewhere in that area. And after 6 years, if we don't buy it, what was the projected savings?
It was on the sheet.
Yeah, let me get this up for you.
44,000.
I think it's more than that.
Do you have that, or do you want me to try to find it?
No, it's after, what was the question, after 6 years?
What is the total savings after 6 years?
No, we're comparing 11.5 to 9.5 now roughly,
Yeah.
so it's about 2 cents cheaper.
$16,083 per year. That's
Oh,
what
wow.
his figures are for,
For the first,
at 9.5 cents.
so what happens as we get to year 7? What's the,
Well, there's going to be a 2% escalator,
right?
After year 3.
right? After year 3, right?
So we have no idea really what CMP is going to be, so.
No, but I don't think they've ever gone down, have they?
No,
No.
we have not.
No.
The average is 1% a year.
doesn't sell power, by the way.
We
Right.
can average at a
I know that, they're
1%
kind of a
increase.
pass-through.
Right, they take the standard offer rate and then the delivery charge.
Yeah,
And they both go up every
right.
so often.
Yes, sir.
So you've not had any other installations where you put in an excess capacity that say the town couldn't use it, it might arrange some arrangement with a school district or another town, or you've not done that yet?
No, not yet, because of the state laws that were in place. The state laws have changed now, so that we were limited to 9 meters that could participate in the past.
Oh, that was a co-op change, right?
And then they came up,
Now there's no limit.
now there's no limit,
So let's say, for example, the town of Fairfield wanted to get into this business, and they didn't have any area where they could do it. Nothing about the rules and the laws and the 26% or whatever it's going to be, that tax rebate. Nothing else changes because we're making it available to someone outside of the town, does it, as far as you know?
no. So what I see happening here is that the town puts in their section, and you're locked into everything we're talking about here.
Mm-hmm.
If the town wanted to look at doing something with the other section, then Fairfield and other communities, other school districts, could buy power from the town.
Because
So-
it's one thing to save money on power. It would be really sweet if you could make money.
For
Right.
sure.
Right, so the idea is the town can make some property tax on the system.
Unless we purchase it, if we purchase the
Well, no, I'm
system.
talking about the addition, because that's going to be a separate system,
Right.
under a separate PPA.
We'd also be leasing that land as well, correct?
Yes. So the town could, I know of several communities that would like to participate, but they don't have the property.
Mhm.
And
Well,
so-
besides leasing the property, could the town sell its excess power to Fairfield?
There wouldn't be any benefit.
As opposed to, why wouldn't there be a benefit if we sold it to them for more than we were?
Because the cost should be the same. It should be a transfer cost to CMP. It should be the same rate, I would assume. Right, because it's a pass-through cost. As far as what we get back from CMP would be the same as we would be paying, correct?
Right, so CMP is going to take the power,
Right.
and they're going to count it, and they're going to credit the town bills, and they do the same with, say, Fairfield. They would take that power, the credits, and apply those to the Fairfield bill.
Right.
Okay.
So, but we'd have to have a separate PPA, power purchase agreement, for that additional system.
Yeah.
Because there'll be different people signing.
I'm getting out over my skis, so I'm good. Thanks.
Yeah, well, it's new, I'll be honest, it's new to us. The law is still, the PUC is still in rulemaking.
Yeah.
And so it won't take effect until January 1st.
Quick question. The solar panels that we're looking to use for this system, what are the efficiency increases compared to the ones you used in the last 2 systems?
So in Tremont, we use 340 watt panels.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to put 370 watt panels here.
Okay.
So it's the same footprint, the same
That's
size.
awesome.
So the efficiency is improving. Yeah,
How much per year, do you know,
the efficiency.
in the panel designs?
Well, I know when we first started in business 9 years ago, we were selling 225 watt panels.
Yeah, what's the
Residential
efficiency as
systems.
far as turning the sunshine into power?
The efficiency is about the same. It's in the 18% range.
Okay, 18%.
So in case people don't know what that means, the sun at noon shines 1,000 watts of power in a square meter. And solar panels can only pick up 18% of that power. So that's why the panels are so big. That's why when you see them in residential houses, they have to be big enough to collect all that power. So
So he gets 82% of the sun on his house still?
I was just afraid, I live across the road, I was afraid you were gonna take my son away, but I...
It's gonna snow 9 months out But this isn't the same building system as if somebody had these solar panels of their own where they got net metering, right, and reverse their metering and all that stuff. This is just strictly selling this power to somebody that wants to buy power.
Well, so again, this would be, so So what's happening right now in Maine, the PUC is gonna have an RFP come out for 400 megawatts of power in January. So there are companies that are coming in to try to set up community solar farms. That they've done, these companies have done this in other parts of the country. So, so we're not actually gonna be selling power. So what's gonna happen is there will be another PPA signed for this, and the town will then invite subscribers like RSU 18 to participate.
That's for the extra part, but I meant for the part that we're gonna have, the
Oh,
little square there,
Yep,
we're gonna generate so much power,
yep,
and CMP is gonna meter that,
yes.
and then they're gonna just subtract that much power from our bills at our various buildings,
Well, they're
right?
gonna, it's gonna generate credits,
Yes,
and they're gonna take those bill credits and reduce your bills,
right.
right? So your bills will be below $15.
We should just watch their accounting, that's all.
Watch their accounting.
Watch their accounting.
They
for it.
send a sheet around. I might have a copy of it here that I could share, just have you take a peek at it. I don't have that with me. Let me just see if I can find that for you so you can see what it looks
The
like.
amount of power that's produced by the system, can that be independently verified?
It is. We put in revenue grade meters
Mm-hmm.
so that we can track exactly what's going on.
Aside from CMP's meter,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yep. Yes, sir.
So we have a projected amount of power we're flowing into CMP, and we meet the objectives that you've got here for how much we use. If we give them more power than the projection, does that change our credit? Or does that just go to CMP as a bonus?
It goes as a bonus after 12 months. So we'd want to track that to make sure that we haven't oversized the system. So we're pretty clear about the amount of power that the town's used in 2018.